Breaking news in the Julie Schenecker murder trial. A doctor called to the courthouse, rushed to treat Julie Schenecker. Christy, Paul, what do we know?
Well, Joey, our cameras caught the whole thing. The judge refused to start the trial today until he was sure about Schenecker's health. Here's how it all went down.
The court was advised this morning that she was not feeling well. Is that a fair representation, or do you want to put more?
She was having numbness in her legs.
Having numbness in her legs. In an abundance of caution, I understand that the physician for Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is on the way, correct?
Yes, sir.
The bottom line is we're going to attend to things properly and make sure we're ready to proceed.
All right, so Mandy McLaughlin's been in the courtroom all week and was there for the drama today. Mandy, help us understand what happened. I heard there somebody saying she had numbness in her legs.
Yes, that's what we've been informed that she had numbness in her legs. We were told first thing this morning that she wasn't feeling well by the judge. Whenever I stepped out of the courtroom, I could see an ambulance and fire rescue downstairs from where I was standing. I haven't confirmed if that was for Julie or not, but after a 2-hour delay, the bailiffs finally brought Julie back into the courtroom. Judge Battles asked the treating physician, who was seated right behind me, if Julie was fine to go forward. The doctor said yes. Judge Battles then looked at Julie and asked her if she felt fine, and she said yes. So all I know of right now is numbness in her legs, yes.
Did you see her when you were in the courtroom? I mean, did she look different? Did she look ill to you in any way?
No, not to me. She didn't look any different than she's looked every day that I've seen her in the courtroom.
All right.
Not to me.
Okay, Mandy, thank you so much. So a 2-hour delay. She was treated by a physician for numbness in the legs. Joey, this is what I'm wondering. When I first heard that there was some sort of physical ailment, I'm wondering if that, as a juror, gives any credence to possible mental health issues.
Well, you know what happens, Christy? Generally, a judge keeps this away from a jury. And so, therefore, what a judge will go out of the way of doing, in most cases, will say, look, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? We're going to take a little break here. We'll be back in a couple of hours. We'll let you know what's going on. But the judge generally doesn't single out or identify what the holdup is in the trial so as not to give the defendant an unfair advantage or the state an unfair advantage, because after all, Christy, it's about having a fair trial with an impartial jury.
All righty. So most likely the jurors just knew that they were delayed for 2 hours, but they didn't know why.
Right.
Okay. All of this, of course, is coming on the heels of a dramatic day in court yesterday. Schenecker's ex-husband and the father of the 2 children that she killed was on the stand. Passages from Julie's journal were also read in court. I mean, you can imagine how emotional this was. Explosive testimony, and the big question now, does all of it add up to murder or legal insanity?
The defendant said to me when I saw her, I guess I stomped your heart flat, huh?
Her journal entries came in, and they are damning, almost offhand, about the murders, the shooting deaths of her 2 children.
I've offed Bo on the way to practice. Came home, Calyx was on the upstairs computer. Walked up without her reacting and shot her in the right temple. Then shot her in the mouth. Parentheses, her sassy little mouth.
I was sort of on this woman's side to begin with. I was worried that it was just all mental illness. She seemed confused. She was confused the next day about what had happened. But when you hear what she was thinking and the horrible things she put down about her kids, I wouldn't think you'd want to defend this woman.
I'm so tired and sick. Parker. I'm sorry, so sorry. I don't know what to say. But I sensed divorce was inevitable. But I can't live alone. In my last 7 weeks in bed, no one came into the bedroom to see how I was. You didn't teach the kids to be compassionate. Neither were you! Exclamation.
What I said to my ex-wife was that she needed to be the adult in the relationship, that she was reverting to childish tactics with a child, and it was not getting anywhere. It was not getting anyone anywhere.
He came across as distant. He somewhat came across as dispassionate, and she has been accusing him of, in her own words, of lacking compassion and teaching the children to lack compassion for her problem.
Are these all prescriptions for Julie Schenecker?
Yes. AA-couldn't do it. I'm not an alcoholic. Didn't need a detox and used Oxys 1 or 2 for pain as prescribed. I should have went to the psych ward instead of alcohol/addict ward.
I think she has strong claims that she was legally insane. She has a long history of mental illness going back 20 years. She was bipolar, schizophrenic, severely depressed. She was on medications. She was hospitalized numerous times for months at a time. These are facts that the defense is going to use to argue to the jurors that she wasn't in her right mind.
If you're wondering why I decided to take out the kids, it's to protect them from embarrassing them for the rest of their lives. It's too possible that they've inherited the DNA and lived their lives depressed or bipolar, ! I believed I've saved them from the pain.
Well, Julie Schenecker, she may claim she's forgotten things, but you know what? DNA evidence, it doesn't forget. After a short delay this morning due to Julie Schenecker's health, court resumed with a Florida law enforcement DNA expert. She testified about the robe Julie Schenecker wore the day she shot and killed her children.
Well, you also presented for your work in this case a white bathrobe that was you itemized as exhibit number 5 for FDLE purposes.
Yes, I was.
And again, much similar to the gun, you don't submit the whole robe to the machinery and the whole DNA process. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Describe how you identified locations and tried to preserve DNA from various locations on the robe.
The first thing I would do is look for areas of staining. In this case, red-brown staining. I would perform a presumptive test on those items to try to determine whether blood might be present. If I get a positive result, it's a chemical indication that blood could be present in that stain. From there, I will take a small cutting directly from the robe, and that would be what would be carried on for DNA analysis.
All right. Let me show you what's in evidence as State's Exhibit number 20 from the box or its enclosed brown paper bag. Can you identify this as an item of evidence, a white robe that you worked on in your performance of DNA analysis in this case?
Yes.
Removing the actual robe from the contents of the containers, there are several. Can you tell us what's written in underneath the label inside the robe?
It's the unique FDLE case number, item number, and my initials.
And did you place that at that location?
I did.
And can you tell the jury, please, what these blue markings, some circular, some other, otherwise described, what are those blue markings?
Those are the markings that I made on the item. I circled any area of staining or discoloration that I saw on the robe to do the presumptive test for the possible presence of blood.
As you know, we are your home. That's HLN for the Julie Schenecker murder trial. It's right here. And you can look for continuing coverage each and every day on the case from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Time.